I'm ex-Muslim.
You're ex-Muslim. So what? Why are you coming here? Because so many people are accepting Islam. Is that is that why you're coming?
No. Like you said, Allah will replace the people with the better people, right?
Actually,
So people like me left, better people came.
It's actually actively Allah is replacing it. Don't you see it happening?
Yeah, definitely. I can see that.
It's actively happening. It's not even,
absolutely. I see you're very, very excited about it, and I love it that you're very excited about it. That's awesome.
Happy for people accepting the truth every day.
No, it is definitely, because I see a lot of the Christian channels and the Hindu channels also. They do a lot of Dawah type of things, and they get very excited when people change their religion to that religion.
Well, I don't know. When it comes to numbers, there is no other religion. Christianity,
of course.
It is the biggest religion people are leaving according to stats. So you cannot compare that. Hinduism, there is no growth rate because they don't evangelize anyways. There's nothing that can be compared. So to try to
I'm not gonna argue with you on that point. That's not even.
But it's a fact, you know. This is a fact.
Sure.
You know, stats don't lie. It's numbers. You know, it's not even something I'm making up. Okay,
no problem. I just had a question. I waited a long time, but now the time is very low, less because you have a lot of people. So I just wanted to know: do you do this every week, or do you do this like on a fixed day, or because I wanted to see if I can come and talk, but
it depends. It's always in Friday.
Do you announce it beforehand, like one day before?
No. Usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something like that. In the evening, it just depends. Look, I'm a person as well. I have a life. I have.
No, I get it. That's why I was like excited to talk to you in the sense because I saw some of your videos, and you're a very good debater, and you got a very good grasp on logic, science, and philosophy. So it's a very nice thing to talk to somebody like you who has like a good understanding for a lot of different things.
Okay, so can we establish one thing though, is that we don't interrupt one another, or I will have to remove you. Okay.
So if you interrupt me also, then I can call you out and say that please don't interrupt me.
If I interrupt you, remind me that I'm interrupting you, and then I will be fair with you. I'm not going to interrupt. So
perfect.
The thing is this: you said you're an ex-Muslim, yeah? So can you tell me how many rak'ahs are in Surah Fatiha?
Rak'ahs in Surah Fatiha? What do you mean?
How many rak'ahs is the
rak'ahs in Surah Fatiha?
Yes, how many?
Rak'ahs are in namaz, not in surahs.
So rak'at is not in surahs?
No. Rakat. How many rakat? Like 4 rakat, 5 rakat. That's in salah, not in surah. What are you talking about?
So you're saying there's no rakat in Surah Fatiha?
Yeah, no, rakat. You're talking ayats or rakats? I'm confused. Rakat is like, how many rakats of salah did you do? You did 2 rakats, 4 rakats, 3 rakats for maghrib, like that. But you're saying rakats in a surah?
So do you memorize? Okay, let me ask you this.
No, wait. I'm confused.
I will clear your confusion in a bit. But do you memorize any part of the Quran other than Surah Fatiha? Other than Surah Fatiha?
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر. Pakistan.
Okay, no problem. Because there's a lot of people who come.
No, I get it. You're trying to check, make sure, test that person is actually ex-Muslim or not. I totally get it.
Yeah, no. You need to understand why. Because today is a business. To claim, they make a channel. They claim their ex this, and they start making the whole channel about Islam, and then they make money and they ask people to donate for them so they can. It's a business basically. I left Islam and support me because I'm persecuted. So when you said you don't want to show your face, I usually don't allow this, by the way, but I'm allowing you to do it. Yep. What do you want to talk about? As I said, you got your chance now.
No, I just wanted to see. I didn't have a specific
question. Then. Sure. Don't have a question. Let me ask you a question then. Why is the reason you left Islam?
I just lost my faith. Like, I was Muslim for a long time and I believed in it. And then, but there's a lot of things that there were questioning in my mind. And then I started studying a little bit more about different things, different religions, different theologies, philosophy, science, blah, 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 history, all sorts of things. And the more I studied about other things, the less the explanations that the Muslim scholars were giving made sense. Like the more I studied about other things, the less the explanation, the way they were explaining things made sense. It seemed more like it's like very biased answers in the sense like you're picking and choosing what type of information you're going to accept, and then you're going to use that information as a positive. But then if something goes against it, you're not going to give that much credence. I just lost my faith over a period of time. Finally,
okay. So the thing is, don't you think maybe you're asking the wrong people? And
I asked a lot of scholars. I have conversations with lots of muftis, sheikhs, a lot of learned scholars. I went to. I think you're in the US, right?
I'm not in the US. No, I'm in the UK.
Oh, you're not there. If you're in the US, there's actually big organization, ISNA, ICNA. the huge
Okay, it's
organizations.
better if we don't mention names. I would appreciate it.
No, these are big organizations that
I know.
they have conferences and all that stuff. So, I go there, I talk to sheikhs. I've literally did everything I could to, even right now, what I'm doing right now is my effort to be like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I got the wrong information. Maybe you can explain certain things that I have. So I've talked to a lot of scholars, and I'm not saying in that sense like everybody's correct and they gave me the right information. Sure, I might have had some wrong information and all that, but I did do my part in trying to study and try to establish what I'm getting the information is correct or not.
Okay. Now, the reason I would say is you're asking the wrong people is because the questions that people come with, clearly you can see, not only on my channel, but in other brothers' channel, the people answer them rationally to people who are not even Muslims, which would mean that there is no bias there. Those people who are not Muslims, they accept these questions, the answers to be rational answers, which shows that there's not an issue of being biased when you're given the answers, so that the answers are biased, because there are people who are non-Muslim listening to those answers and accepting those answers to be rational and consistent. The bias could be in you of not accepting some of these answers. I do not know what the questions are. I'm giving an example. The bias could be sometimes in you not accepting something for an emotional reason, while the answer is still a rational, perfectly acceptable reason for someone who is objective, like someone who's not Muslim. So they might accept it while you might not accept it. But this is a problem, could be from you coming from an emotional perspective. That's a possibility. I do not know. Point is, you said you spoke to them, this and that. That's why you can ask your question, and then we can see. But I want to ask this first. Can you put your hand and pinpoint, this is why I left Islam? Because
no,
the people
I
they
can't.
come, that's the thing. People who come and say,
I thought you asked me a question. That's why I was going to answer.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I just going to add one thing on it. I was just going to say, people always who come and left Islam and ask them this question, they don't have an answer for it, which for me, unfortunately, is a sign of insincerity. Because if someone pinpoints a problem, I can solve it. But if there is no problem that can be pinpointed, how can you fix something that you cannot even identify? Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I'll let you say what you want to say now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That if you pinpoint what the issue was, then you can actually work on that issue. And if you can't tell them what the issue is, then how will you help it? I can totally get it. Like going to a doctor, I say I have pain, and they say, "Where's the pain?" I was like, "I don't know. I have pain," and the doctor can't help you. I totally get it. But the issue is, like, a lot of time when you lose faith in a religion, it's never one single thing. Maybe for some people, traumatic experience, all of a sudden something happened and they left because of that. I can understand those people. But a lot of people, I understand, leave the religion. It's not because of one specific issue. It's a multiple of issues over a period of time that adds up as a cumulative case. And that's what basically makes it.
Yeah, okay. Let me ask this then. What would bring you back to Islam? Let me ask a different question now. Yeah. So I'll ask you differently. Yeah. Because, there's many reasons to leave. Okay. What would be the turning point for you to come back to Islam? Or you've determined that you're not going to come back to Islam?
No, I've not determined that. Of course, that would be insincere. If the truth is revealed in front of you, then you would be stupid not to accept it, Okay. And of course, I understand that. And that's a very difficult question to say, what would bring you back to a religion, right?
Were you listening to the stream earlier?
I listened to this stream because I was waiting in the back stage. So I listened to.
You heard when I was talking to the person when I showed him.
Sure.
With the prophecy.
Sure. But do you understand, like that person, what's his name? The American, the Christian person who became Muslim and all that. The things that you told him, the prophecies of the Prophet and the Burj Khalifa and all that. I mean, for a person who hasn't heard these ever before, they sound very impressive. For people, just let me finish. I understand you want to respond to it right away, but just be patient to listen to the other person also. I understand to them when you tell them that right off the bat, like, Muhammad said something about India and that Islam is going to go in Pakistan, in Egypt. You have a very good fast way of explaining these things, and it sounds very impressive to them. But for people who have been in Islam and have literally heard all of these all their lives and actually listen to the counterpoints for it also, it doesn't seem that impressive. So I understand. I heard the whole stream, this prophecy for this and the Romans and the Persian prophecy. I've heard all of these prophecies and all that, and I've heard the counterpoints to it also. So you have to understand, when you're telling them that these are the prophecies, they don't know what the counterpoints for these arguments are.
Okay. One thing I want to say as well about interrupting, cannot spend a very long time as well, right? Because otherwise it will be a monologue. I'll try not to spend a long time. But again, you just made my point. If it is amazing for someone who never heard it before, that means that an objective person recognizes the truth within them because he does not have a baggage. But when someone has a baggage already, then of course he does not recognize the magnificence of something. As they say, the people who've got a blessing, they do not recognize it until they lose it. So the people who don't have the blessings are those who would recognize has the blessings more than those who are enjoying within it. Now, you claim there's counterpoints. Why is the counterpoints to the prophecy about the Romans and the Persians? Go ahead. I'll give one example. We're not going to go into all of them, but we'll give one example to show that how what you're saying is not true. What are the convincing counter arguments to the Romans and the Persians?
Okay, so I'll go back to what you just said first. You said that that person, when you tell them and they were impressed, they are objective about it. How did you know?
I'm sorry, I apologize for interrupting you, but let's focus on the question, because then you will say something, I'll say something, you'll say something, and we're not going to end this. Let's focus on the topic, the question, on the claim that you made. You said, let's have a conversation of substance. Not why he did it, why he didn't do it. Let's have something of substance. You said there's a counter argument that he did not hear. This was your argument initially. That's why let's focus on that. Why is the counter argument for the Roman and Persians and the prophecy of Prophet Muhammad?
Now, can I answer?
Please, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Now,
I
didn't say
you cannot
I just
see.
said question,
No.
Yeah.
What I was trying to explain is you cannot make certain statements and then you jump to your question, because once you make certain statements, the other person has to respond to the claims that you made first before he can answer to your questions. See,
No. I'm sorry.
You're interrupting me again.
I am, but because I have to establish something.
I haven't interrupted you at all.
No, it's true. I agree with you. That's completely true. I'm not going to say that you did, but sometimes I do have to say something. This conversation has to go in my format. Reason being, it's my channel. If someone is not happy with the format that I have, which is, for example, if I say, let's deal with the question now, because I understand what you're saying. You want to deal with what I said, but then, as I said, I will have to rebut it again. And then we end into this cycle, a never-ending cycle. And I don't have time for that, with all due respect. I want to have a conversation of substance. If you're willing to engage with the question, I'm happy to engage with you. If not, then I would let you go, and then you can live your life, I can live my life, and we part ways in a nice way. That's what I can say. If you're willing to engage and give me the counter argument, because you just said you cannot make claims and not support them. You made a claim that there is counter arguments that you didn't hear, so I'm asking you for them.
I understand it's your channel, right? And you have a certain format, but do you have to understand, when you make certain claims to somebody and then just move on to your question and leave your claims unanswered, it seems as if your claims were correct and then you moved on to your question. That's why I was trying to address your claims first. But if that's your format, that you're going to make a claim, you're going to say this is how it is, and then you say, oh, let me ask you this other question, and then you leave the other part just there, then I understand that's a totally different format, and we can part ways at a very nice, cordial way. I really had a fun talking to you, because it's not about
you don't have
argument. No, I have, but I don't want to argue with you on that way this type of format that you have. Because you're saying that you can say whatever you want, but the other person has limits on what they can. They have to say it according to how you say it, but you are allowed to say whatever you want, make certain claims, and not be challenged on your claim. But then you'll jump onto the question, and then you want the other person to answer that question that you asked, and leave all of your claims that you made on the table. That's not how it is.
I'll give you a chance now to establish the claim that you made, that there are counter arguments that he did not hear.
No, that's not the claim. My claim was...
You didn't say that.
No. That's your question. The second question that you jumped in.
My question to you is that, do you have a counter argument to the Roman and Persian prophecy?
Yes. Can you explain what the Roman and Persian argument is? The argument is Muhammad...
You said you heard it.
Yeah, I heard it. I'm just summarizing it. Your argument is there's a land, Persian and Roman. Okay. There's a war. Prophet made a prophecy that they have been defeated, but in a few years, the Persian will be the one that's going to be defeated and Roman will take over. That's the prophecy, right? And in a few years, they took over. That was it, right? That's the big prophecy.
I'm asking for the counter argument.
Yeah. So the counter argument, how is that a big prophecy? If I just say Ukraine and Russia just fought, and a few years later, Ukraine will be victorious, how is that a prophecy?
I appreciate your amazing response. So I'll let you go now. It was a pleasure talking to you. And,
thank you very much. Really had a fun time. Thank you. Bye.
No problem. And this is the thing, you see, brothers and sisters. They make a claim, and then when you pinpoint them, okay, what was the counter argument? The counter argument is, this is your big prophecy? What a great counter argument. What a rational response to what we've established already, of saying that this time-bound, time-specific prophecy about the two major empires of the time, that of an empire that was about to be decimated, right, of how they will come back, it is just, oh yeah, is this your big prophecy? Do you see, brothers and sisters? Well, this is a sign for us. I'm happy he came and we give him a little bit of a chance there. It's a sign for us to see the blind hearts of certain individuals, as Allah says, كَلَّا بَرَّانَ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ. The dirt has completely covered their hearts. They don't see the truth, from the sins, the amount of sins that they do in their lives. So, subhanAllah, is like, if we show him the sun, like this sincere brother who may Allah reward him, who heard the prophecy. He's objective. He's coming from a perspective where no one is brainwashing him with nonsense. He's listening as an objective person. Of course, prophecies are clear-cut, amazing. So, of course, he sees the amazingness of these prophecies. And subhanAllah, some people are just blind, and Allah guide us all,